Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. You're welcome to the Introvert's Guide to Content Creation, and I am the host, DK Jonah. So, the Introvert's Guide to Content Creation is a podcast that was created to do a couple of things. The very first one was to give introverts an opportunity to tell their story. Now, most introverts are, I'll just use the word introverted, are reserved, and there is a negative connotation with the word introvert. So, what I want to do with this platform is speak with other introverts, give introverts tips that they could use to create content in an extroverted world. So, while the world is telling you to change yourself, I'm talking about embracing who you are as an introvert, understanding the things that you have to do, and knowing what it takes to be the best version of yourself. I'll have a guest joining me today. Her name is Ike, and she is an introvert like I am. She'll be talking about emotional intelligence and what self discovery means to her. Once she discovered herself, what's transformed in her life, what's changed in her life. And I just wanted to do a little intro to talk about the podcast a little and answer a few questions that have been asked. Now, the podcast is the Introverts Back to Content Creation. For the past couple of weeks, we've focused on introverts, talking to various introverts. We've spoken to Folakemi in the last episode, and in this episode, we're speaking to Ike. We've also spoken to Lola, who is in the media. We had a conversation with Lola that was quite interesting, and we talked about the fact that introverts can thrive where they are, and introverts could also be in a field like the media that is kind of extroverted and has to do with having conversations with people. We understood that, or we agreed at the end of the conversation with Lola, that introversion shouldn't limit your dreams. Introversion shouldn't prevent you from doing the things you want to do. So, for me, for instance, when I discovered that there was nothing wrong with being an introvert because I was always trying to transform who I am, change who I am to kind of fit a narrative that has already been given of what I should be doing. But by accepting who I was at first, it made me understand that yes, there's something that I have a story to tell, and I could extend that olive branch to other introverts to also tell their stories. Then we've had BC. Yes, BC is an introvert. That's what I call her. She's an introvert to a core. I've heard of a woman that calls herself the loud introvert. BC is the silent introvert, the go getter. And the episode I did with her was also quite interesting. We learned about the fact that multi passionate introverts can thrive in the industry. They can be teachers, they can be people that cultivate others and bring out the best in others. She has a community that focuses on generating income for interior decorators. So it's an amazing community she has built, and she's very active in that community. But let me tell you something. One thing I've discovered about introverts is this: when we discover something we like, something we're passionate about, and something we just want to do, we go all in. So, for instance, I will describe myself as an introvert. Most people that know about me will say, yes, DK Jonah is an introvert. She doesn't really communicate as often as an extroverted person would, but she has a voice and she tells her own story. Now, that wasn't always the case. I was really shy, reserved, kept my opinion to myself, and I really did not have boundaries. But when I started accepting who I was, it transformed the way I got things done. It gave me the opportunity to even start speaking to people like what I am doing today. The old introverted, shy DK would have shied away from doing this. But now that I have accepted who I am, I have understood that, you know what, every single person is different. You just need to embrace that different part of you and show the world what you're doing. That is great. All right, so we've talked about Lola, we've talked about BC. Then let's talk about the vision board clarity queen, Folakemi. Folakemi is a vision board expert, and she is an introvert like I am. We have connected in the past couple of years, and we've spoken about the importance of personal development, why you need to take responsibility for your own growth, and you shouldn't leave that to accident. Why, by being intentional about what we are doing, we can get things done. She talks about the fact that we are dreamers, and sometimes putting your dreams out there, putting things out there, makes you a better person, makes you focused. I think most introverts are different. So if we understand that, okay, We all are not the same. I've spoken about three different people and myself. We're all different. Everybody is different. Everybody is unique in their own ways. And it's just for us to accept who they are. So now this is my new guest. My guest today is Ike. Well, Ike is, you guessed right, an introvert. And she is someone that I have loved working with for a while. We have spoken a great deal about podcasting, speaking, copywriting, and understanding and embracing who you are. She has a vision to help people globally discover their gifts and maximize their potential. She believes in adding value to the lives of others, and she says change starts from the inside. I think this Ike is someone that I will love to work with, short or long term, and I think we would have been friends in another world. She is very passionate about self-discovery, as like I said before, about understanding who you are, accepting who you are, and communicating that to other people. So when she discovered that, oh, this I am when she discovered who she was in her own words, she understood that, okay, I have discovered my strengths, I have discovered my weaknesses. These things have made me the better version of myself. I need to now create a plan to enable me function properly. So that's what Ike has done. She thinks about the fact that change doesn't just start from externally. Change is not about just changing or transforming your external appearance. It's about looking inwardly, understanding that the state of your mind is important, your mental health is important, emotional intelligence is important, and whatever you're doing, this self discovery is the best gift you can give yourself. So she has a self discovery project where she helps people discover their gifts and maximize their potential. And I think in all, I just like our passion for personal development and self development, because you could talk about personal development and then think about the fact that, you know what, I am passionate about it, but what about applying what you've learned? So that's what I love about Ike, and we'll be discussing that today. All right, so I'm going to. I had called Ike now so she could join the conversation. I just wanted to give a background of who we've spoken to and the plan for today, plan for the future. I'm having a couple of guests as a guest coming on board. First time we're having male guests on Introvert's Guide to Content Creation. We have three male guests booked up. We have Simeon, who is a freelancer. We have Madu, who is a civil servant. And then we have Uche also, who is a freelancer and an entrepreneur. And I picked these people because I've seen them thrive in the community that they are in. By accepting who they are able to thrive, they're able to communicate, they're able to connect better. So, without wasting much time, I will just tell you about something else that we're working on. And we've been working on this for a while. It's a project that I think everyone should know about. So I'm back on your screen. Yes. We talked about um the Introvert's Guide to Content Creation being a podcast that talks about people and other people ideas on what it is to create content. So I felt I created this podcast not just to speak to other introverts and hear their stories and yet let them share their experiences, but I also created it to teach people how to create content. So that's where the content creation podcast came about. That's the content creation part. So to help us do this, I have come up with a series that I am going to do. The series will focus on where to find content. And basically, it's just going to talk about the fact that content is everywhere, but we just need to know where to look for to find it. So it's about understanding that content exists, content is out there, but you need to do something in order to get the content that you require for the specific brand that you're working on. It's going to be out on the YouTube channel. It starts on the 1st of August from 4 to 6 p.m. And it is just going to be a simple opportunity for us to talk about where do we find content, because the issue most people face whenever I ask them, okay, why don't you post, And the response is always here, here now. The response is always, oh, I don't know what to post. So I have looked at, hi, Ike, are you with us now? I'm live already. Hello, Ike. Hi, Ike, how are you? We can't really hear you since we're having network issues. Hello, Ike. Hello. The network is really bad. I
Okay.
apologize for that. Ike,
I'm
hello? Hello?
so
Hi, Ike. Okay, network is
sorry.
bad. I can't really hear you.
Hello.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Before you came
Well,
on board,
can you see me?
I can see you. Before you came on board, I was just
Okay.
already gone live. I was just letting people
Okay.
know what the podcast is about, what we're
Okay.
discussing. I've done a little introduction about you. Then I
Okay.
was telling them of the YouTube series that I have
Okay.
created that is going to focus on content creation. So I will just share a little bit more about that, and then I'll bring you on board to say, so we could discuss the part about emotional intelligence and personal development. But before I do that, just say hello to everyone while I'm doing that.
Okay. Am I live already?
You're live, but we can't see your face here, so you can just say hello. Then I'll bring you in briefly in a few seconds.
Okay.
All right. So we okay. So I was talking about the content creation series that I am starting. So like I said, it's just to talk about the fact that you know what content is everywhere, and we need to understand that to create content, we have to know where to look. So the content creation series will just be doing that. Will just be answering the question, what should I post or where can I find content? And
Okay.
before I bring Ike on board, I just want to share with you what I said about the series. I said it's a content creation series where to find content. It will be hosted on this channel from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. I know on the first flyer I put from 4 to 7. Don't worry, it won't be that long. It's just going to be 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And I will share more details about that. But now, Ike, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am. I'm ready for you.
All right. I will bring Ike on the screen in a few seconds. And like I said, Ike is quite a creative individual that I like, and I'm sure we're going to have an amazing conversation with her today. I look forward to always interviewing and interacting with her because she is passionate about what she does. And I will let her introduce herself a little bit more. So, Ike, I have spoken about you in great deal. I would like you to tell us a little bit more about yourself. Hello, Ike, can you hear us? You're on screen now. Hello, Ike. Okay, we've lost Ike again.
Okay.
Okay, Ike, yes, you are live.
Hi, everyone. And I'm so glad to be here this afternoon. I hope we are all good. Yes, I can hear my content creation. I am very sure that you guys are all going to learn. And I'm accountant by profession, but I'm very passionate about self-development. I'm also very passionate about the Word of God and how we are able to read and study it personally by ourselves. I'd love to share my little experience with you all, and I would love to learn from you all too. Thank you very much.
Awesome. That was an amazing introduction. Thank you so much, Ike, for that. It was wonderful having you.
Thank you, DK.
So you've told us a little bit about.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. It's always
Okay.
a pleasure having you on board. We've told us a little bit about yourself,
Yes.
about who you are and what
Okay.
But let's talk a little bit about growing
Yes.
as Ike. So um in your opinion,
Okay.
what will you define, or what will you define as an introvert?
Well, most times introverts are people that are very reserved. They are thinkers. Most introverts are thinkers. They're deep thinkers. They are people that are not very social. They're not social. They're always mostly indoors. They don't really interact with too many people. They don't like, noisy places and all that. They are more into themselves. They are more into themselves and they're always very shy. They're very shy people. Like I used to be very, 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 very extremely
I don't
shy.
want to be
But
that.
when you're getting older, and when you need to execute some things, you need to pull out your shyness, put it in the dustbin, and move forward. So I would say that introverts can actually maximize their potential. The only way they can maximize their potential is by coming out, letting people know. Introverts are people that hide things. Like if they are very great cooks, they won't share it with everyone.
Yeah.
They will hide it and be like, "Ah, I don't want people to, I feel like it's a self-esteem problem to a large
To a
extent
large.
because you're not confident of your own work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I feel that introverts struggle with that because even your own work, you're not confident about it. You feel, oh, what would this person say? What would that person say?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a mindset problem
Okay.
when it comes to some introverts. But some introverts have been very, very, some introverts have worked on themselves
Mm.
and they've been able to bring out, their innermost potential.
Yeah.
And so that's why we are here today.
Oh, that's
Because you're my
like
sister.
that. The interview is over. Ike has said every single thing we need to talk about, and the interview is not over. Have coffee or something. But don't worry.
Okay.
This is the introvert
We just
content
started.
creation, and my guest is Ike. And Ike is passionate about so many things, but she's an introverted person. But I want to know a little bit more about Ike. What was it like when you were growing up?
Huh. DK. DK, I am this child that okay. While I was growing up, I noticed that I was someone that really loved reading. Like I would borrow enlightening books from my classmates, and
Oh,
I will read. But I was not a social person.
okay.
I didn't have friends. If I would have a friend, DK, I would just have only one friend, and I'll be committed to that friend. But I will not, associate in class when they are playing. But I knew that I liked to play.
Yeah.
I will go to the swing anytime the bell rings. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I will go to the swing and run to the swing, play. But after a while, I lose interest. When I see that, they're doing something that is rough or anything, I'll just be like, oh, I don't want
I'm
this
not.
nonsense. I don't want to be found. What did you say, DK?
I say you say I'm not interested in this. No, this is too.
Yeah, I just lose interest. It was so overwhelming for me. So I would just leave, remove myself because I didn't want to be found in a place where, people will say, they caught you here. I had that, sense of integrity and,
Mhm.
I wanted to be found in important places. I
Okay.
knew in my heart, I wanted to be found, places where, there was respect. It's not that they'll say, oh, they caught Ike doing this. No, 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 no. I wanted, that kind of respect. So for as a child, I loved my space. I loved my space. DK, I can, every time my brother and my sister, maybe they went to school because they're more
Oh,
advanced in age than me.
okay.
The year difference is much. So anytime they were in school, or maybe nobody was at home and I was the only one at home, DK is party time. As in, I loved my own company. No, I'm
I,
I'm, I'm a for
you're
real.
speaking my
I loved
language.
my own company. It got
You're
to a point that
speaking
my
my
mom.
language.
You said what?
You're speaking my language, as in you're just saying everything that I should be saying about me.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I was that kind of child that, I would tear papers, I would tear sheets of papers,
Yes.
and I would put them, I would share it to all the chairs in my house. I was their teacher. That's how I knew I had the teaching skill. I would share it to all of them. I'll be the one to write the exam.
You
I'll be the
want to
one to
say?
mark it, DK.
I
And I'll be the one to say,
it.
you the student, you're not serious. Eh?
Oh my goodness. That's so funny.
I'll
But
say, you the
just
student. You this student, you're not serious. So I think there was a day my mom caught me and she was scared. She was like, oh, I think this girl has a, spiritual I said, Mommy, this thing is not a spiritual this thing. I just love my own company,
Mm-hmm.
and I was this kind of child that, if I'm not doing that, I'm acting a movie. What do I use to act a movie? I take the cover of mineral bottles.
Mm-hmm.
I take pegs, like pegs in my
Oh
house.
yes.
I create different scenes. Like I can
Yeah.
I can create a scene in the parlor and create another scene in the room. So I'm acting a movie in my head, because of the kind of enlightening books I read. They're more fairy tale and everything. So, I enjoyed my own. I didn't need a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need a friend. That was actually counterproductive after a while in my life because I felt, oh, I can do anything. I can be independent, so I don't really need anybody. But you need people.
You do.
Everybody. We are not. You can't be an island on your own. Do you understand? You need to network and associate with people. So for me, I felt it was irrelevant. And
Mm-hmm.
if anybody came around me, it was like disturbance. You've disturbed me. If you come to me and you're in my house or you're in my room, you've disturbed me for the whole. It's until you go I can get myself because I can't do anything when you are there.
There because
You've distorted.
is it
Yeah, you've distorted.
you've distorted they've
You said what?
I said I think
Yes, you've
distorted you, you're
distracted
right.
me.
They've distracted you completely.
Yeah.
You've planned your
Yes, yes, I can't
planned
see
your
myself.
time and but
Exactly.
conversing with people kind of drains us. I know we don't like saying it, but it kind of drains us. And we want to be polite. We don't
Yeah,
say right now I can't really, really talk, even if I'm a chatterbox. But
exactly.
right now I just need to have deep thinking and process and stuff like that. And people don't really see that. They just see, oh, you don't want to talk to me and things like that. But when was the
Mhm,
first time you
mhm.
felt you wanted to do something with your life that you were made for much more? So that time when you finally decided, you know what, I want to do something for my life. I'm made for much more than just creating movie scenes. There's greatness in me. When was the first time?
Okay, DK, I would say that everything is a process. What I figured out is that, I cannot rule out God in my process,
Mm,
because God wanted to use me for a particular purpose. And I had this character. I had this character that was not good. To myself, I was good. I was perfect. I had everything all figured out. Nobody can. And so I was using that kind of, adamant behavior for God.
mm-hmm.
So it was until I had a personal encounter with God. That's when my real self came out.
Amen.
And I'm still uncovering a lot about myself every single day. So I would say that I've always known that I knew all these things, I could do all these things, but I had to make a decision in my mind. I had to start exposing myself to things. For example, I'm this kind of person that if I go to church,
Mm.
when I started changing is when if I go to church after the service, DK, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm gone. I've gone home. I don't want disturbance.
That
It's
was like
stress.
my first 2 years,
It's stressful for me. I can't.
especially my first year in uni.
What did you say?
That was like that in my first year in
Yeah,
I just come in
I can't deal
and
with it.
go through the back door. No.
And I'm out. Yes, I don't want anybody to see me. I don't want. But God made me realize that if I'm going to actually, maximize what is inside me,
Mm-hmm.
I need to come out. I need to learn some new things.
Mm-hmm.
And starting my Bible reading group actually helped me because I have a Bible reading group that I founded. And even me, I was shocked because as an introvert, you can't really manage people. You can't deal with their not being me that I like things on point. I can't deal with their not being fast. They are not being, I didn't know how to do all those things. I would say that God taught me. Plus, I've always been an avid reader. I read a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I like information, I like knowledge. I've always been a reader since when I was small. So
Okay.
that's one of my childhood traits that cannot leave me. But I had to move my reading abilities to start reading self-help books because my dad was a fan of self-help books. So I would take, if in fact he buys books for each of us. So when he buys books for each of us, only me will read my book because I'm an introvert and I can easily focus. So I will be the only one. I will digest the book, but I won't go out. Oh, I won't meet anybody. I won't implement. Oh, I won't take action. But I was digesting books.
Hmm.
I can't forget some books in my head. I was digesting and jotting them.
Okay.
So I would say that, it was finding God that made me to find myself. I found
Right.
God first before I found myself. As in, it was changing my habits, looking inward, saying, "Oh, Ike, you can actually do this." And I had to start reaching out. I had to start, doing things like one thing I can remember is that I sing.
Oh,
So, and I like singing. It's something, is an, what'd you say?
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I sing and I love singing. So, but I wanted, but I never had the confidence. I sing in my bathroom. I sing in my bathroom, but I never had the confidence to come on stage to sing. So what did I do? In my local church, after I did my workers in training and everything, I shall join the choir, and they told me to sing one Tuesday service. I can't forget that day, Diki. It felt embarrassing.
Oh,
So, and in my mind, I already had, a mindset that, oh, I'm shy and everything. So, but I determined in myself, I said, see, Ike, even though the ground is going to, even though you're going to make mistakes and they will make jest of you, just go and do this. And so, what did I do? They told me to sing, and I said, okay, no problem. I did it. I went there. Do you know that, DK, I was meant to take praise and worship, and as I was taking praise and worship, um, they were like, okay, so after I finished taking the praise and worship, my HOD was like, as in, she was so, in fact, a guy came to meet me and said, "Oh, Ike, is this your first time?" And I was like, "Yes, it's my first time." And he sounded very funny. And the HOD was like, "Oh, Ike, are you the one taking the offering?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Don't worry about it. Another person will take it." I felt so embarrassed. Do you understand? And I know that introverts always feel embarrassed.
it's like
They always have all these imaginations in their
just
head
that.
that maybe somebody, hello?
I say you're right. The slightest thing, negative feedback can just make you
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
And I think
yes, it can make
introvert
exactly,
self doubt. When we doubt ourselves, we question ourselves. We're
exactly,
like, am I already thought.
mhm,
I already said I was not good enough. Now why
mhm,
you force me to do it? It's like when
exactly.
in Egypt, they're like, oh, we did not tell you to leave us. We were better off there. Say I was better off not talking. They're talking, and then now I'm
Mhm.
there. So yeah, introversion is kind of tough to understand from that perspective.
Yeah. So what I really did, Dicky, sorry, to help myself was that I took that feedback from them and I didn't react. I was shocked at myself. That means I was becoming better. That means I was becoming stronger. I took their feedback and I didn't comment. I just said, okay, no problem. And I still continued. I didn't react to my HOD. I didn't react to the guy that spoke to me in a certain way, but I used that feedback to work on myself. That maybe there's something, maybe I need to, because the truth is, what I realized is that it's until you come out and you get feedback that you actually know whether what you're doing makes sense because you meet people that are better than you. So, but if you're too into yourself and you think, oh, what I'm doing is perfect, is good, is when you come out that people will say, oh, Ike, you can do it this way. You can do it better this way. You can do, and I started learning from people that were better than me.
Hmm.
So that gave me an opportunity. If I had a blocked mind, I'm sure that I would have just been sad,
Yeah.
grumpy, go to my house. Like,
Mhm.
okay, I even said it before that I was not good. So why will anybody accept me? All those stories. I think I've outgrown all those things.
So what you
Life is more than.
you've shared your struggles with being an introvert. You've talked about. I was going to ask you about not understanding yourself. How being an introvert sometimes we don't understand ourselves. But I like the fact that you mentioned that you were learning from self-help books, learning from the lives of others, just basically putting your mind to the thinking about, you know what, how can I take advantage of whatever opportunities that
Yeah.
exist now. Okay, I may have not done the performance to the way I would have loved to do it. I would have preferred a positive reaction than a negative one. However, I will take what they are saying. Sometimes I say this thing, and I think most people
Yeah.
do this. Don't shoot the messenger. Someone has given you a message. You may agree with it,
Mhm.
but you don't agree with it. Leave the messenger alone. Focus on the message. Learn from the message. That's just what I have told myself I will start doing. But anyway, most of the questions I was planning on asking you, you've already started answering them. So, Ike, I think you've spied my little questions that I have for you. But not to worry, we will be able to continue the conversation. Um, so we talk about introversion from the negative part. but I'm sure you've mentioned a couple of positive traits. At one point in your life, did you learn from the positive traits in being an introvert, and what triggered it?
Mm,
Hello, Ike.
mm,
Okay. Hello. We're having a little connection issue with Ike, but she'll join the call again soon. Okay, she's still here. Hi, Ike. Can you hear me? Hello.
mm. I can hear you, DK. I can
Awesome.
hear you.
Awesome.
I'm here, DK.
Awesome.
I can hear
I was
you.
asking a question. I said,
Yeah.
at what point in your life did you find,
Okay.
you discovered, did you first learn, discover, find out about the strengths in
Okay.
introverts, and what triggered it? So was it an event, or you just made up your mind? What triggered you understanding the strengths in being an introvert?
Well, what really triggered? Can I go ahead?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Hello.
No,
Okay.
okay, yes.
So what really triggered me? Okay. So what really triggered me to think about, all this, trying to move forward. Well, one of my strengths was that I'm a thinker, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to strategize.
Awesome.
So I had to
Good skills that.
pick out those little things I could do.
Yes.
And the truth is, every time I go out and I interact with, because I don't like plenty interactions.
Mm-hmm.
I can interact with you, but my interaction with you be very intimate, like
Mm-hmm.
very, very. So you'll be wondering that, Ike, with all these things, somebody had to tell me that, Ike, with all these things that you have, why you hiding me? Hiding, I'm not hiding now. But I had the fear and I didn't have the confidence to bring it out. So what really helped me was that when I looked at it, and I feel that God Himself made me understand that if I continue like this, I cannot maximize my potential. And I was very, because I had so much in me. So I felt, another thing that helped me was that I was always attending business conferences,
Hmm.
even when I don't interact with a single soul.
So network.
I will go there. Yes, I will go there, this as in challenge myself, sit down among the crowd, network with the person by my side.
Mm.
But if they tell us, oh, network with 10 people,
You
I will not do that.
okay?
But one
How do you
mistake I made,
network with people by your side? Since you mentioned that, what ways? Because once what I do is introvert when you first come for my meetings or anything, and I notice them, I signal them out and pay attention to them, especially if they are new, and integrate them into the group. So that's the strategy that I use when I work
okay,
with fellow introverts. Because there was one she came, first day she came, she was like 5 years ago. She was so mellow and everything, and now I say I'm like something has changed in this girl. She has finally accepted who she is. So, what will you say? What will you say to people that think that introverts are just shy, introverts are just snob, introverts don't just want to talk to anybody?
okay,
We've lost you again.
so I would say that first, the introvert needs to
Network.
learn
So
how
I apologize for
to
that. I can't really
deal.
hear, but let's see if she will come back.
Can
Yeah, yeah.
you hear me, DK?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Can you hear me,
We couldn't hear
DK?
you. Yes, we can hear you now. Initially,
DK,
okay, I can hear you now.
DK, I'm here.
I know, I can hear you.
Network is really bad.
I
Can you hear
know,
me?
it's so bad. Ike, yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you louder.
Hello, DK, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello, DK.
hi, Ike, can you hear me?
I
Hello,
can hear you very well.
I,
I don't know
I
why
can
the
hear you.
network is
I can
so
hear you. So
bad.
you. The network is a lot better now.
Yeah, the
Initially, buffer.
network is pretty bad.
Yes, initially it's buffered, so now it's a
Okay.
lot better. All right, so we're talking about introverts, and we're looking at different topics on different issues.
Okay.
things that people.
Okay, that's great.
So, all right. So I said people think being an introvert is.
Your I can hear you, but your video is paused. It has
Are
been
you
paused for a long
sure?
time.
Oh
I
no.
said I can hear you, but your video is paused.
Please, if you're watching, let us know if the video is paused or if the video is working for your end, because we need to know.
Oh,
If
okay,
we
okay,
please, if you're watching, please help me write in the
okay.
comments
Oh,
if your
that's great.
yes, if your video is working properly. If you can hear us, we will appreciate it. Thank you so
Oh,
much for doing that. Thank you. So I asked the question. I said, when it comes to introversion, there are negative sort of stereotypes about introverts. That when we go for networking events, for instance, we just don't talk to anybody. We're supposed to be networking. Get into the event, get out. Then whenever the next event comes, we get in again and we get out. So sometimes introverts have this negative vibe that people perceive from them. What will you say to people that say, okay, as someone that is passionate about personal development, you cannot be an introvert because introverts are not concerned about others? What will you say to people that say that?
okay.
Hello,
Yeah.
okay, okay, yes, you can, yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think the network is really bad. Let's just try and get to what
Mm.
today's on. And what's the biggest challenge you're facing right now, and how are you overcoming it? Can you hear me? Hello, Ike.
They don't know the introvert. But my advice would be to the introvert.
Mm-hmm.
If there are things that can you hear me?
I
No.
can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I said my advice would be to the introvert
Yes.
because if there are things that you're very scared about,
Mm-hmm.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Ike, we can hear you. Yes.
Can you hear me? I can hear you,
Yes, I can
DK.
hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you,
Okay. Oh
DK.
my God, this call is really, really tough today. I apologize for the network issues, but it seems Ike and I are struggling to hear each other. That will pose
Oh,
a problem.
oh,
Hello, Ike.
hello, DK. Now, one of the biggest challenges is that I'm facing now is actually coming out. You know, I still have that introverted
Personality. Or
how will
that
I
of it.
put it? Like I still have some of those introvert. Yeah, I still have some of those introverted
Individuals. I'm trying to get words for you. All right, we can. Hello. Okay, so we've talked about now I just want to know you that just have a simple discussion with you on self-discovery and emotional intelligence. Are you okay for that? If the network continues like this and we are going in and out, we may have to reschedule and shoot this again. I don't really want that. Ike, can you try taking off your earphones and let's see if the audio will improve. Hello, Ike. Okay, we're having issues connecting with our guest. I think she struggled to connect in the beginning of the call, and now she's struggling again to connect. So I will just I will just see if she will join us again. If not, then unfortunately we may have to reschedule this interview because I think there's still a lot that has to say about personal development, about self discovery, and about getting things done. So, Ike is disconnected. I will try my best to reconnect her now so that we can finish the conversation. If I can't reconnect her, what I will do is simply come back to you, finish the conversation, and then reschedule another time with our wonderful Ike, because I think that we still have a lot to glean from her. I don't think I don't think introverts are understood. I think the world keeps trying to mold introverts to who they are not. I am of the opinion that introverts can thrive in an exciting, loud world, and they can do this on their own terms. I also like the fact that introversion is now being discussed. There are conversations we are now having. No one is thinking about any other thing. We are having conversations about introverts, making them understand they've been accepted, making them understand their personalities, their strengths. Well, one resource that I absolutely love is the Strength Finder test. And the Gallop Strength Finder test is such an amazing tool because what it does is it helps you discover what you're actually good at so that you can focus on what you're good at and then eliminate the distractions that come regularly. So um we are looking at creating creating a platform for us to thrive. Ike may join us or she may not, but just in case she doesn't, I'm just going to go through our notes and then answer a couple of more questions. Like I said, most likely we're going to have to reschedule this interview because we've had technical issues from the onset. Um, I will, I will, Okay, so Ike is sending me a message. Let's take a short 5 minutes break, or 3 minutes break, and let's see. Let me have a conversation with Ike on the phone, see if we can bring her up in another way, and then we'll continue the show. So we're just going to do a 3 minutes break, and we will be right back in a few minutes. Let me have a conversation with Ike and see if she will be able to join us again. But hopefully she can because we just started having the conversation and I think there's still much we could talk about. But unfortunately, we've had technical issues. I'm going to put this video on private most likely because we've had too many issues with it. But I think there were some. Oh, she's back. Hi, Ike. I was just telling people that we may need to. Hello, Ike. I don't know what's wrong with network today. I was just saying that we need to reschedule the session for today because of the way network is dealing with us. So I don't know what we'll probably have to do that. We'll probably have to reschedule the conversation so that we are able to talk because I think there are going to be lots and lots of cuts, freezing, and so many other things that we have experienced today. And I think it would be best for us to just reschedule. So I do apologize for that. It wasn't intentional. Ike is still here, but we are still struggling to get on the screen. I don't know what's wrong with the network today. I can't see her on the screen. And she's calling me on the right platform. All right, let's see what else we can do. But I know you said I was just I'm like, why would I I Oh my goodness. It's been an amazing day with technology. Technology things don't always go our way. I have two thoughts. I'm like, yeah, and I should just continue and we just keep this as one of our episodes with lots of bloopers and stuff like that. See how people respond to it. Or we can have what do you think? I know someone is watching. What do you think? We can have the interview rescheduled completely, a day where we have better internet connection, and then we are able to have that smooth transition and without interruption at all. Because we've had quite a lot of interruptions today, I must say. We've had quite a lot of interruptions, and I do not want the Ike to go without talking about personal development and the other things that she needs to talk about. So Ike, just give me a few seconds, but we can still hear your voice. Let's just still. I can't see you on my where I can see you on Skype, but I'm trying to connect it to the software that I am using to stream so that you are able to show properly. But yeah, it's okay. Let's try something else. We can hear you loud and clear. We can hear you loud and not about experimenting, so we're going to do something. We're going to, but so while we're talking about that, before we bring you on screen, let us know why you are passionate about personal development and self
You know
discovery.
that everything, the foundation of everything starts with the roots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to go back to the background. You have to see what's under the soil, like where did it all start from.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I would say personal development started from, because he used to be a very, he used to be a reader. He reads, he can finish a newspaper and everything. So I think I got that from the house,
Okay.
because I saw someone do it. I
Mm-hmm.
saw someone read. I saw someone, stimulate his mind. And, I was very inquisitive and I'm like, okay, let me read. And I started reading books because he used to buy a lot of John Maxwell's books. I can tell you how many John Maxwell's books I have that I still have. He buys a lot of books, School of Money. He was a very, very, very much. So I'll say that that's where it started from. That's so. I now developed myself. I developed myself in the sense that I was always going for events. That's number one. Number two, I was drawn to any self development information on the internet. I follow people like Brendan Burchard. He's a very high,
I like it.
he's an high performance coach. Brendan Burchard is one of the people that I looked at, and I listened to a lot of videos and audios of people that are exceptional. So, and I felt, okay, how did they gain this kind of confidence? It has to be that they're doing something I'm not doing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So I started feeding myself with this content, but I didn't know how to bring out that content in me. I didn't know how to bring out that thing in me. I didn't know where to start from. I would say that there was a starting point, but I was always attending programs and events, and I found it easy to network with at least one person, you know and my networking skills improved as I continued attending events, and as I continued getting information and I continued having my self-awareness. So I would say that every introvert to start from knowing their self.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things that an introvert can do, but because they are so into their self, nobody ever knows. So I was having my workout this morning, DK, and somebody walked up to me. A lady walked up to me and she said, "Hi, Ike. Hi, sorry. Please, this is my card. I'm a lawyer and I'm a writer." I was like, wow, this is so impressive. She was also working out too, but she introduced herself. She said, "If you have anything for your business," and I was like, wow, this is impressive. See confidence. So I've always loved looking at women and men that were confident to bring themselves out.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't eliminate the fear, but it's something that is possible that we can all do.
Okay. Okay.
So I feel that introverts should work on their inside, work on your mind. you know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let in fact, you can feel like, oh, I'm not doing this, my eyebrow is not here, my this is not, don't make mistakes.
Yes.
No,
No, it's
DK,
true
it's
because
fine to look stupid. It's
it,
okay to look
it's
stupid.
okay.
It's okay to
Okay.
look stupid. It's
I like
okay.
that.
Yes, it's okay. I know I've looked, yes, I have looked stupid in many situations, but it has taught me the better way to do it.
Yes.
The first time that I started speaking to people and talking, I felt very shy. I felt like, oh, I will enter the ground, I will do this. But as I continued singing on stage, I got my confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Then the traits in me came out, that people identified me and started giving me responsibilities because they saw, oh, this girl can do this girl is. So if you don't bring that thing inside of you out for me to see, I can never know you have it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like what the Bible says, that a lamp cannot be put under the basket, but it is put on a lampstand. It said a city on a hill cannot be hidden. A city, if you're on a hill, nobody can. Everybody sees you. If I see a hill now and I see something on the hill, I always see that thing. So we have the responsibility to bring ourselves out. And how do you bring yourself out? You need to work with confident people.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. Because most times we work with people that are exactly like
Like
us.
us.
I started, yes, I started moving with people that were more confident than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I started listening to them. I started understanding how they get their motivation, because most of my friends were introverts. They don't want to talk. I don't want anybody to say this thing. I don't want to feel like I'm a this. And people that are talking, maybe they are too talkatives or this. You start having all these unnecessary things, and you won't be able to maximize your potential. So I would say that if we continuously work on our self awareness,
Mm-hmm.
gradually, this shyness, this self, but you need to work on your self limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
You are good. Whatever anybody says about you is not what you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's about you, it's how you interpret these things.
Yeah.
If somebody says, oh, Ike, why are you so dark like this? Oh, because I've already worked on myself and I know that I love my complexion, I love the
Mm-hmm.
way I am.
Mm-hmm.
It won't affect me, oh,
Hmm.
no matter
I like
what.
that. I
So
like
no
that.
matter how you look, yes, no matter, you have to be confident in yourself. Don't allow people just wash you down. You are the one accepting all those things.
True.
So it's very important for us to observe those trends that we've been having in our life. If you see that this introvert thing is not really working for me, people don't really know who I am. Most times I have deep conversations with some of my friends that I've been friends with for a long time, that tell me that, Ike, you are good at this, you're good at this. I will not believe that I'm good at those things. I never believed it. But nobody can believe, nobody can see your potential. But if they see a trait in you, believe it. If they say, oh, Ike, you cook very well, say, thank you very much. Yes, I do. Before I would say, no, I don't cook everywhere. I don't look pretty. I'm not fine. I'm not this thing. Why did you say that? You are deceiving me. It's a lie. It's because you are not confident in yourself. We need to learn how to be confident. Wherever, even though you don't have all the best clothes, even though you don't have all the best things, what you have is enough.
It's enough.
What you have is enough.
Mm-hmm.
Is enough. That's what I figured out. What I have is enough. You will be shocked that what you have, you're not valuing it as an introvert. You're looking at it like, oh, this person is just so confident at work. I cannot speak up for myself. I cannot do this. Is a lie.
Hmm.
The day you speak out, you will speak out wisdom. Introverts are thinkers. They will listen to you. Most times they say, oh, they won't listen to me. Who says? You have to develop yourself to the. I work with a team of 5 people,
Your
and
first.
my trust me, do. I
Yeah.
don't force them to do work, TK.
They work. They do the work.
They do the work themselves. I don't know if you can see me.
I can.
Yes, they are motivated to do it. Introverts are not people. They're not very good with people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? They're not very good with people management, but you can learn how to do it. That's why self-development is important. Because all these things, all these feelings, I'm feeling this, DK did this, that one did that, you're wasting your energy on unnecessary things. The person has even probably forgotten that they did anything to you. So we need to work on ourselves, and it all starts with you. It's the way you see yourself that others will carry you.
I like that. The way you see yourself.
It's the way you see yourself that others will carry you. So if you don't see yourself as a valuable person, nobody will see you as a valuable person.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't see yourself as a good person, no one will see you as a good person.
True.
So value yourself first, then bring yourself out gradually. Don't force yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Then look for people that are also doing it, because that's what I did. I looked for people that, if I tell them that, oh, I'm very artistic, I like drawing, I like all those colored things, fanciful things. I'm not looking for somebody that will tell me, that will even make me feel worse. I'm looking for somebody that will say, oh, you get me too, I love this, oh, I love colorful things. Look for someone like you.
Someone that has your praise.
Because you've not brought
That.
yourself out. Yes,
That.
because you've not brought yourself out, you'll be moving with the wrong people.
And I think there's a quote that says,
The people that are not,
"Oh, if
they are
you're the
good
most
people.
intelligent
Okay.
your circle, you need to check your circle. Because if my circle of I want people that I can learn from, people that I can grow with, and people that I
Okay.
can teach. So I'm having the balance where I'm able to
Okay.
express myself and teach others that are coming after me. With my peers, I'm able to have conversations like this where we are able to talk and share our views, learn from each other. And then from those that have gone ahead of us, I'm able to look at them, see their lives, what mistakes did they make, what were their success stories, and things like that. Doing that makes you a better person because you are learning from other people's experience, you are interacting with other people, and you are being the best version of yourself. I, on the other hand, have decided that okay, for the things that I want to do, I will put my best foot forward all the time, no matter what. I will, like I said, be intentional about what I tell myself about myself. What I tell myself about myself, because sometimes we don't tell ourselves the truth about ourselves. We beat ourselves up. We don't tell each other the truth, ourselves the truth. And I will interact as much as possible with others. But we have to be intentional about whatever we're doing. And in moments of self doubt and adversity, how do you build yourself back up?
Okay. Um, TK, there will always be, how will I put it? I used to be someone, I don't know if I can say this here. I used to be someone that, if I'm not really happy or something, I can just shut down. I don't want anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anybody to be around me.
Yep.
They are trying to help me. They are saying, okay, care, don't worry, everything will be fine. I'm like,
You
no,
don't
I
care
need
is
my
you just don't
space.
see.
I just want to be alone. Somebody had to call me to my senses and say, Ike, people are trying to help you. Get over this yourself. Get over yourself. We're trying to bring you out of this mood. We are here to help you. I'm like, no, I can figure it out. No, I can figure it. So what I would say is that, see, everyone around you is willing to help you. You can't figure everything out. I can't figure everything. So I've started, how I'm able to handle that is that I try to share what's wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of staying isolated, we have this isolation. Instead of staying isolated, I try to share. Oh, I'm feeling this way. Because when you share, solutions come.
Exactly.
The person might have, because I'm a thinker, I feel, oh, I can think it out. I can think it out. My thinking might take like 2 years to figure that thing out. But if I just reach out to someone and I'm not bothered about, oh, they didn't reply my chats, they didn't, people just get funny. I just start thinking, hey, I called her, she didn't call me, she didn't return my call. She didn't, you start all these petty, 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 petty things. You don't know what the person is going through. You don't know. I'm telling you because I've been able to outgrow all those things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for example, now this morning when I was trying to connect to you, my Skype was having some issues that I was like, this Skype was working. What happened to it? How was I able to manage it? Because I feel that we are moved by emotions. I would have been very, if it was the former me, I would have been sad. I would say, this thing is not working out today. Let me just tell DK I'm not more interested again. I'm no more talking. I can't make it. But I tried to solve the problem. No, I used that energy to try to solve the problem. I created another account, and I'm here with you
Yes.
because I did not allow my emotion to get over me and tell me that it can't work out today. It's already late. No. I said no. I'm going to try all what I can try. And if it doesn't work, it's fine. But at least I made effort. I didn't allow my emotion to make me feel draggy that, oh,
Abi.
so that's how you manage turbulence.
Okay.
First, be calm.
Yes.
Be calm. just try to, okay, yes, this thing is not working, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist.
A
So
bit.
if something is not working, I'm agitated. Yeah, I'm very agitated. I'm like, oh, this is not working. It's not. In fact, there was a time that I was trying to book a ticket to move from a particular destination to another destination. And, you know, I was trying it. I forgot my ATM somewhere I think I forgot my ATM in the car. So I needed to do it, and I wanted to use my sister's ATM. And the first time we tried it, it didn't work because, connection problems. You have to say all her card digits to me.
Mm-hmm.
We tried it 5 times. At a point, I told her, I said, please, I cannot go on again. I'm not patient for that. I cannot. And she was like, Ike. But, instead of telling her that, I calmed down. She said, Ike, do you want, she was already pissed too. She was like, Ike, is it that you want us to stop this transaction?
Exactly.
I was like,
No.
okay. In my mind, I was getting stronger. I was like, no, let's try it one more time. And the last time we tried it, it worked.
Awesome.
It shows that she now told me after the call, she said, Ike, you need to learn to calm down. Some things are not perfect the way you want it.
Yeah.
So the truth is, most introverts like perfection because they are detailed people, extremely detailed, and it can get so much that you never start.
Ex-
I've got to the point that I never start. I want it to be perfect. If it's not perfect, everything is not
I'm not.
set. Forget it.
I'm not.
I can't start.
I think I like
You know.
that. I like that because introverts we have to understand we are different. But let me ask a question. Because we've talked about self discovery and the fact that you are passionate about self discovery. I just want to ask
Yeah.
you um a question about self discovery. What will you say is,
Okay.
um how do I phrase? Okay, let me rephrase it. I was going to phrase it in a certain way. Um, what have you learned from your work working on self discovery with yourself and other people? Let's phrase it that way. What are the lessons you've learned from your work working with people on self discovery, making them understand the importance of self discovery? And what exactly is self discovery?
Okay. So for me, self-discovery is knowing more. As human beings, even if you're digging a ground, for example, you want to discover gold, you have to dig the ground to get it.
Yes.
That's how self-discovery is. You need to dig into yourself. If I never take the opportunity to say, oh, I want to speak, you think everybody thinks that, oh, people that face the camera, everybody is confident. No,
No.
you just push yourself because you know that the moment you start, all the fright, all the shaking, all the everything, oh, how will people see me? What's this?
Ex-
When you
How do we
overthink things
know?
too much, is unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
So what I feel that self-discovery to me is unleashing every gift and potential you have as a human being. There's no how you can be fulfilled in life, even though you have all the money in the world, and you will not feel that emptiness of not releasing yourself. Many people feel that, oh, it's when I get married that my partner will discover me. Your partner is also trying to do their own discovery.
Exactly. Don't put that
You are the
pressure on
you
another
It's your
man.
responsibility to discover who you are on your own and bring it to the table for it to be an advantage to whoever you get married to. I used to think, oh, that person will discover you. You are your own self.
Yeah.
Discover yourself. If you love music, he might not love music.
The music will be considered.
See, if you love singing, he might not love singing. He might not love going to choir or anything. But these are activities. I love drawing. DK, I just love drawing.
Awesome.
I can't explain it. I love drawing, DK. I've always loved it. If I look back, I've always loved I draw in class when they are teaching biology class. I'll be drawing because the class, and I think it's physics class, physics class. I always draw because it's just boring to me. You know, I need something exciting. I need something that can spark me up because
Yeah.
I've been able to observe myself. I need something that will give me that, that will feel like, oh, I did this. Oh, I did this. Oh, I challenged myself
Yeah.
today. So I would say that anybody starting their self-discovery journey, look inwards. Don't ask people.
Okay.
No. Don't ask
Look,
people. They don't know you.
I like that.
They don't know
But
you.
no one knows you better than.
They don't know you.
But when it comes to emotional
I'm telling
intelligence,
you.
what role does emotional intelligence play? Because we have just like a few more minutes. Just
Um,
briefly talk to us about the role
okay.
intelligence plays.
So emotional intelligence is everything, DK. DK is everything. Is almost everything. Is interrelated. You know why I said so? Because these feelings, okay, for example, now I was talking with someone a week back, and she was doing something, particular task on my Bible reading group.
Mm,
And she was moved by the response of people.
mm,
DK, I have learned how to accept rejection as a normal thing. Do you understand?
mm-hmm.
Rejection cannot cripple me from asking you again if you are going to do this thing. I
Exactly.
will go back and ask that person. No.
Exactly.
So if you're emotionally intelligent, you can manage your energy and not react instantly and say, oh, this person annoyed me. You decided to be angry.
Exactly.
This situation is not good. You decided to allow that situation to control. We have control. I can decide to let my emotions control me. And, I want, people attach so many things that are not, it's because of an emotion. You can't wake up in the morning and feel confident. You can't go about your own task because you feel, oh, I don't have money. I don't have this. How does not having money connect to being fit?
True.
It doesn't relate.
It
Do
does.
you understand?
I think sometimes
It's a financial problem.
they don't realize that sometimes you can start from zero and build something ground up. And that's the
Exactly.
problem for you.
You can,
But
it doesn't cripple. How does not getting married have to do with, how does being single have to do with, keeping yourself and developing yourself? How does it relate?
that's
It's totally unrelated.
totally unrelated. But
Do you
let's
understand? That's a different aspect of your life.
it's a totally different aspect. But okay, we've talked about emotional. What has
Yeah.
your greatest discovery about? As we're coming to the end of it, just share with us your greatest discovery about self-discovery and emotional intelligence. So, what would you say your greatest discovery has been on these two areas?
Okay, my greatest discovery on self-discovery is the amazing potentials that we human beings have, but we never get to use because we are not confident.
Mm-hmm.
We are not confident to bring ourselves out. So that was what I discovered, that we are all unique. No matter how similar what me and DK may be doing, I am different. Nobody can steal my vision.
Mm-hmm.
Except they want to steal they can't steal you.
No,
You are
they can't.
you.
They can't steal
You
because
act in a different way.
even twins are not the same. So think about it.
I'm telling you,
Shared a
we
womb
have the
and
way we will handle situations.
different.
Okay.
They're different.
And for emotional intelligence, I would say that anytime, because introverts have the tendency to be passively aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
When they're angry, they might not come and shout, shout, shout,
Yeah.
but they react.
In their
They respond to that thing that you've done. They will not tell you and you did it, but I will respond to that thing in a different way.
mm-hmm.
So what I would say is that what I discovered about emotional intelligence is that emotional intelligence is important because if you can't control your emotion, it will rule you.
Mm-hmm.
you know it will make you feel that, oh, and because I'm not feeling good today, you'll be having mood swings. I'm not going to do this because somebody said this to me. You need to be strong,
Yes.
you know
I like
to be able to take, because people will talk even when you're doing the perfect thing.
they will still talk.
They will say, why you this, why is it like this, why is it like that, you need to do it this way. Listen to those corrections,
Oh,
accept those feedbacks, be nice. Somebody has told me before, Ike, why are you doing this? Is it that I said, oh, I'm trying to build my confidence and help myself? And he made a statement to me. He said, are you not confident like this? And there was no need to explain anymore.
it,
You know,
you
there was no
also, I
need.
think what introverts need to learn, and I am speaking to myself, is we do not owe everybody an explanation. We need to set boundaries on people that we let into our inner space so we have peace of mind. We need to understand that everybody has
Yeah.
24 hours. It depends on what we want to do with our 24. We're coming close to the end of this, but I want you are all about books. You've mentioned books, 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 books. Do you
Yeah.
have a top
Yes,
five
yes, yes, yes,
book?
yes.
Yes, your top five books.
What did you say?
Your top five books, your favorite books, top five.
Okay, my top five books. Ah. that's a little bit difficult, but I love this book by Michael Garber. It's called The E-Myth. It's an entrepreneurship book. It's a very wonderful book.
All right.
And I love The Millionaire's Mind.
You love what?
I love I love The Millionaire's Mind. The
Okay.
Millionaire's
That,
Mind
that
Avi by Avi.
mm,
Is a financial growth books.
okay.
I also love the Growing Up Spiritually by Kenneth Hagin. Is one of my
That
best
book
books. I can recommend it
before.
to
I
anybody.
need to read it again.
Uh, Hello?
I need to
Can you hear
read it
me?
again. Yes, I can hear you. I need to read that book again.
Okay, so I love that Growing Up Spiritually book. Then there's this book I'm reading now, though it's common, everybody must have read it, but it's an audio book I'm reading this month, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People.
That
I think it's a very, very
that's
good book.
and if so,
Then
okay, I want to get
one book,
to personal development. What books will you recommend for the person?
okay. It depends, DK, for me, what I've learned is that you have to for you to be interested in reading, you have to identify a problem in your life and look for a book that is in that area. For example, if you're dealing with networking, you can read what they call it. I've forgotten the name of this book. It has a red cover. It just skipped my mind now. Um, if I remember, I will let you know.
Remember,
But what I would say,
show no.
for example, if you want to grow in your business now, you can decide to read the E-Myth by Makegaba if you want to start, because it will give you an overview of your position as a business person.
Awesome.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I can't really recommend a particular book
Mm,
except you say, okay, I'm dealing with sales problem,
mm,
I'm dealing with time management problem. If you have a problem with sales, you can read Sales Dogs.
okay. If you
You
have a
can
problem
read
with time
you
management, okay, let's just talk on top of our head. Productivity.
productivity. There are many books that talk about productivity. Okay, so we can read Brian Tracy's book.
Okay,
He talked about productivity. In Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, they also talked about time management.
exactly.
So it's a book that can actually help you
I
to
think that
work on your time
one
management.
seems to be the
So, and
middle
Eat
of
That Frog.
It's That Frog.
What'd you say?
The one. It's That Frog is amazing. And then Getting Things Done.
Yeah,
Those two books. I'm actually
yeah.
looking at them now. I'm just but I'm looking at the books. My shelf is over there.
But DK, there's something I want to say before we wrap it up.
Okay.
And it's something that an introvert is a thinker.
Mm-hmm.
An introvert is someone that they focus easily. If you give me a task, I will do it. I will execute. I will do it. I will do it very well,
You've done
and you'll be impressed.
it.
But the challenge is, if you get, what do you say?
I said I know
If you
that
if you only read, you said what?
I said no, when I give you a task you do it. I said I know you do it all the time.
Okay, so if you I was going to say something. If you I was going to, okay, yes. So I was going to say that, for example, if you are reading, if you read, and you don't apply, it's going to be a problem. So I would say that, we use books. Once you read a book, list out 5 things that you want to implement from that book, because you spent hours
Mm-hmm.
reading, digesting, listening to that book, and you don't implement. Books, videos, audio programs, seminars are meant to benefit our lives. We invest hours in it. So if we look at our time as being valuable, we will know that this time it doesn't wait for anybody. So what I would say is, if you're reading, read books, but use books. That's the most important. Use it. Use that information to transform your life. If you are not using it, your life will never change. You have all the information, you speak like an intelligent person, but people will never see the results in your life. So I would say, read, but use those books to add value to your life. Pick out 5 things from the book, that any book you read. It's not just about reading 20, 100 books in a year,
Rather I
but how are those
one book
books
and apply one.
influenced your
I
life?
read 15 and
Yes.
didn't apply
Yes.
them.
So,
Because
yeah.
we are moving at
Yes.
such a fast pace. There's information overload. There are books, there are podcasts, there's so much.
Yes.
So if you don't know how to use keywords and
Yeah.
limit your search, you're going to be overwhelmed. So I like that. I think I'm going to create a flyer with this. Once you
Yeah.
read a book, bring out five
Yeah.
you've learned and apply it
Yes.
if it suits you.
Mm-hmm.
Read books, but you use
Mm-hmm.
do not read books and dump them. Read them, engage with them, use
Yeah.
them, bring the best
Yeah.
part of
Exactly. Bring out exactly. Because you invested hours reading the
Mhm.
book. So I was once a reader and accumulator. I keep, but I never give. So you will never really know, what is inside me.
Mm,
So I would just say that, that's the best way to practice everything that you read that is valuable.
okay.
And you can always sieve out the unnecessary information.
I like that.
Thank you,
I like
DK,
that.
for having me.
All right, so I just have a couple of
Yeah.
would you rather questions for you. Um, so would you rather read a
Okay.
physical book or an audiobook?
So I would say that I'm an old time
Old
person.
fashioned.
I'm an oldie, yeah, I'm a paperback
Yeah.
loving kind of, just ticking everything out, using my biro. But recently, I have seen how, I can use audiobooks, listen to, like I'm listening to Habits of Highly Effective People, and I can always go back to repeat it.
Mm,
And I can do that even when I'm doing tasks that are not, that are mindless. Do you understand? I can listen to it while I'm cooking. I can listen to while I'm taking a shower. I can listen while I'm doing something that is mindless tasks. So I feel that, for me now at this stage, I am reading more of audiobooks. I find myself looking for more audiobooks than physical books because it's even load, conveying those books from one particular place to another. Do you understand?
mhm.
So I am reading more of audiobooks. I'm listening to audiobooks now, and I also read audio, how will I put it, audio ebooks too. So I'm into ebooks and audiobooks now. But if I see a physical book and I have the time to sit down and read it, I will do it. You understand? Because it is. But what I do that helps me, DK, to avoid distraction is that I listen to these books offline. I listen to my books offline so I can focus.
Offline. Do you use
No,
Audible?
I don't use the Audible app or the Scribe. If there's a book that I want to read that is on YouTube, I just download it on the YouTube app
Mm-hmm.
and I read it offline. So Habits of Highly Effective People, it has a complete read ebook on YouTube. So I just download it and listen offline and jot all those notes. So there's not so much distraction there.
All right, awesome.
So
Like
that's
that.
what I do.
Like that. Oh, yeah, it's
Yes.
been amazing speaking to you.
Okay.
You are, as in you were like
Thank you. It has been
amazing.
amazing being here.
We've got we had a couple of technical issues and it's been going
Yeah.
back and forth. But thank you so much for joining me today. I will hope this is
Thank you
still
for
live
inviting
because
me.
we had a couple of issues with the connection, but notwithstanding it was recorded, we can still get bite-sized clips from it to use. So we may need to have you come back when the network is better and have another episode. But I will see how it recorded. I just want
Okay.
to say thank you to Ike for joining us today. And
Thank you,
to
DK. Thank you
you're
very much.
welcome. You're welcome. Honestly, you're welcome.
Thank
And
you.
to every other person that
Thank you.
has stayed with us despite the technical difficulties we were having, I must say thank you so much for joining the Introvert Guide to Content Creation. Just a reminder, we are having the series coming up, which is going to focus on content creation. I'm just going to post that here. So it's a content creation series that will talk about where to find content. It starts on the 1st of August. It's going to be live on this YouTube channel. So sometimes people have content overwhelm. So what I felt is there's something we could do that could help people that are suffering from content overwhelm to help them create content and find out that you know what, there's content everywhere. You just have to know where to look. So thank you so much to my guest Ike for joining me today. And thank you everyone for
Thank you, DK.
amazing.
Thank you, everyone, for joining in today. We're so glad to serve you.
Yes, we are. We are glad to serve you. We're here to serve you. So just follow us on Facebook as DK Jonah. Follow us on Twitter, all the other platforms as DK Jonah. And the Introvert's Guide to Content Creation, we are all creating a community very soon where introverts can come and learn how to thrive together, grow together, and bring out the best versions of themselves. I remain your host, DK, and I would like to use this opportunity to thank my guests once more for joining me today, and I look forward to interacting with
Yeah.
you on Instagram. Oh, follow me on Instagram if you're not. That's where I hide out. All right, then. Cheers. Bye.